Good evening. I was informed that in this crowd tonight there are people that still not fully keep the laws of the Torah. Unfortunately, that's the situation of most of the Jewish people in the world. If you check all the Jewish people in the world, you find, unfortunately, that the majority of them are not connected to Torah and mitzvot. Some keep partially, some don't keep at all. After so many years of dealing with the public, I can say to you without any doubt that the vast majority of the secular Jews in the world that do not keep mitzvot, are not connected to spirituality at all, is not because of evilness, but it's because of ignorance. Their level in Torah and in Judaism is below zero. That's not an exaggeration. How can it be below zero? In Judaism they know nothing. In other things they know a lot. It's not relevant. You can know a lot of different things, but if you don't know the purpose of your creation, obviously you cannot succeed in life. In today's generation, there are millions of different beliefs. Everybody believes in something else. You know, a man believes he's a woman believes she's a man. Toyota believes he's Lamborghini. I believe I'm a president of the United States. One person believes he's a bird, depends what drug he took. Everyone believes in something. So there are millions of different beliefs. Obviously, if we will be realistic, we shouldn't care that there are so many different beliefs. We should only care what is the truth. Everything else, let everyone do whatever they want. It's their free will. We only care what's the truth. But now we have a dilemma. Okay, everyone claims they have the truth. Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Krishna, and many other cults out there, they all believe they have the truth, or at least pretend they have. How me as a rational person, I'm going to waste my entire life to investigate who has the truth? I'm going to need to live hundreds of years. By the time I finish with Christianity, then Islam, then Hinduism, Buddhism, Krishna, Scientology, and you know how many cults and religions you have today in the world? More than 80,000. If I dedicate a day to each one of them, I'll be older than Noah. It's not realistic, obviously. If somebody created the world, and that someone created me for a purpose in this world, and I look around and I see everything was made for me, it's very unlikely that that creator would put me here to investigate what's the purpose of life for 800 years, knowing I'm only going to live 70, 80 years in this world. How exactly? By the time I'll find out what I have to do in this life, I'll be dead 10 times. So if we are not that stupid, the creator of the world for sure is not that stupid. This we understand. He wouldn't let us search in the darkness for 80 years, maybe we'll find out the truth. It's not realistic. So we have to assume, one, that someone made this beautiful creation, because nothing is made by itself. There are laws in nature. Laws do not form themselves. Someone designs the law. So if there's oxygen everywhere, the creator wanted it this way. Why? Because people need oxygen, and animals. Trees everywhere, they help that. Water everywhere. Gravity, everything we need for our life was designed. Billions and trillions of things that we use in this creation for our benefit was designed in a precise most amazing, brilliant way. Right? So even one little thing cannot be designed by itself. Needless to say, 10 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 or 1,000,000,000,000. Right? If I take one book, right, and I will claim that that book was made by itself, right? Is it possible that the book was made by itself? And you know any human being in the world that will hear me saying, you see this book? Yesterday in a printing house, ink started to jump, and all of it got into the book. All of it got into the book. And now, all of a sudden, there is a book. Here you go. You know, everything started to fly. Now there's a book, picture, you know, symmetric writing, everything designed, beautiful square. It's all, how it happened? It was an explosion. Explosion in the lab. Everything started to fly, and 5,000 books came out. And they also arrived, shipped automatically here to Kew Gardens here tonight. No, anyone would buy this nonsense? There's not one person in the world that for a second would believe a word of what I say. And if he does, he's mentally sick, for sure. It's not normal. And if someone will make such a claim, he's dumber than that. And there's not one person in the world, I give you my word for that, I promise you that. And if you think otherwise, I'll make a very, very fair bet with you. I'll give you 10 times more than you give me. There's not one person in the world that is an atheist. It's all baloney. That's one of the scams of this world. When people tell you, leave me alone, I'm an atheist, every one of them is a believer in God. Every one of them, with no exception to the rule. There's now one atheist person in the world, and if you don't believe me, bring them to me, we'll connect them to a lie detector, and after 3 minutes you see that they believe in God more than you. So why so many millions of people keep saying, I'm an atheist, I'm an atheist? The word, I am an atheist, this sentence, equal, leave me alone, I'm not interested to change. That's what it means. I am an atheist, equal, forget, it's similar to a woman. A man, when he tells you something, there's a chance he means what he say. When a woman say to her husband, I hate you, that means I love you, why you don't give me enough attention? You're hurting me. Well, you sure you don't love me? I hate you, I hate you. Get out of here, I don't want to see you. She said, no, beg me more, apologize more, get me some nice gift, that I should forgive you for hurting my feelings. You have to know the language of women. I didn't make it up. This is what the Torah says. Women and men operate in a different emotional way. Women, they act a lot with emotions. So if the emotions are healthy and happy, she's willing to do everything. If she hurt, the logic dies. Why? Because she suffers from inside, and she's not in a mood for anything. This is the way women are. The creator of the world made men in one way, and women in a different way, and children in a different way. So everyone was designed according to his purpose in a creation. Same thing with animals, same things with the stars, and same thing with raw material. Right? So the idea is, Rabotai, the reason I know that there's not one atheist in the world is very simple, because every person that you give him a creation and tell him, do you believe it happened with a random explosion? The answer will be no. Do you think this bottle was made by itself? How can it be by itself? Someone designed it. Look at the lines, look at this, look at the writing, look at the lid, and even have a seal. Something like this cannot happen random. So if this cannot happen randomly, a brain of a human being can just become by itself? No, don't get me wrong. It didn't happen in 1 minute. It's a process of billions of years. Billions of years. Let's analyze the brain. How did it start? From day one. What was the first step in creating a brain? It's 10 trillion connection. If you disconnected one wire in a brain, everything is You're in coma or you're dead. So what was the beginning of the brain? What? One dot of flesh? A dot of blood? How did it start? And then another one got connected, and where did it come from? And how they knew how to design that computer? And how they knew that the blood has to go through these veins? And how they knew that it has to be surrounded with 80% water and gel? And how the bone around it was formed? How the material knew by itself that at one point it has to become hard. It cannot stay gel forever because it needs a protection. And how did it know to connect to the heart and the arteries and to the nerve system and to the eyes and to connect to the nose and to the ear? Every system like this, you need millions of engineers and scientists to design. And they have to be all in one place, interacting with each other, and that's after a lot of thinking. A raw material can think, can cooperate with other raw material. Nobody believes this nonsense. There's not one person who will believe in this nonsense. But everybody scream, I'm an atheist, meaning I'm not interested to be religious. Why? I want to be free. What does it mean I want to be free? I want to have fun. That's the Americans say. Leave me alone. Why? I want to have fun. That's what human being wants. They want to have fun. What does it mean to have fun? One person is to listen to music, sport, trips, relationships, clothing, food. Food is a very good fun. That's why there's so many restaurants out there. If food was not fun, nobody would open a restaurant. Who would waste time sitting 2 hours in a room? For what? To look at the wall? People there for fun. Physical fun, it's like a drug. Same thing, the drug addict drives to New Jersey and wastes 2 hours of his time to look for someone to sell him some drugs, that for the next 2 days he should have some therapy in his mind. He is willing to put so much effort and suffering for only one reason. Why is it? He wants to have fun, according to his understanding of fun, until he dies. Until we die from a heart attack, or overweight, or anxiety attack, or asthma, or panic attack, or all kinds of other problems that we create in our own psychology, that the body cannot handle the stress anymore. So, Rabotai, nobody believes that anything was made by itself. When you look at the world, you see that everything was made for the human being. There's no question about it. You don't have to be a detective or a genius to see. All animals are here to serve us. All raw material was created for us. We use the trees, we use the leaves, we use the fruits, we use the vegetables, we use the ground, the sand, we use the water, we use the skin of the animal, the wool of the animal, other things that they create. Everything was made for us. Without us, they're worthless. So we see that it's all for us, and we control the nature. And we also see that life is full of struggle. So if the creator of the world is such a perfect superpower that is able to create such a world in less than a second, if that's the case, why did he make the world with so many defects? On one hand, there are trillions of unbelievable things that he created. Just look at one leaf from a tree. One leaf, take a leaf. Now the leaves are falling. Pick up one of them, see the colors. See how many colors, red, brown, bronze, a little bit green. See how it's designed with lines. It's mamash like a work of art. So if a picture called Ketchup on Canvas was sold for over $100 million, this leaf should be $100 trillion to design such thing. You know what ketchup on canvas? Someone took a canvas, took a ketchup, and made a few circles like this. And it was sold for 46 million, and now someone sold it for over 100. $100 million for ketchup on canvas. How much the canvas was? $5. Ketchup, $5. Instead of $10, you made $100 million. Very good investment, no? When there are so many stupid people in the world, sometimes you can take advantage of it. I remember when I was a child, my father used to make diamonds. That was his job. Shine them, cut them, design them. So I used to come with them from time to time home. And I used to like to look at them, the shape and the shine. And my father had wisdom. So he told me, you have to thank God that there are so many stupid people in the world that thanks to them we make a good living. That they're willing to pay for this $10,000 for a little piece of glass from some mineral from nature. $10,000 so they work a year for that, just to show off that they have something shiny on their hand. That's pure stupidity. But that's nothing compared to art. This crazy art, you don't believe me? Let me ask you a question. I'm going to bring now 8 black garbage cans full of garbage. Make a knot, put 4, and next to it another 4. In a room, in a gallery, art gallery. I put 2 sheetrock walls around it, and I put a price next to it. How much? $500,000. Who is interested to bid? Anyone wants to bid? Beginning price $495,000. Anyone wants to pay more? If I will tell you now to go to Florida to make a bid on something like this, because right now the price for it now in Florida is $495,000. Would you believe me? Would you believe me? It's hard to believe, right? Believe me, I also don't believe myself. But I have a student, he's a famous artist from Manhattan. Just sent me a picture of 8 garbage bags on the floor with the price next to it, $495,000. And I know, I see from your body language that you think I'm fooling you. So you leave me no choice by showing you the picture. Just to show you how dumb humanity became. People stop to think. That's where the problem begins. עכשיו, you know, someone that is an artist, he said, oh, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. He doesn't understand in art. He doesn't understand that you're not paying for the garbage can, you're paying for what was in the mind of the artist when he designed the garbage bags on the floor. Right? That's how they're going to answer? What do you think? I don't know it? I don't know what they're going to answer? Here you go, Rabotai. I'll make it a little bit large that you can see. Here, see? Put it close to the camera. Look. Garbage bags on the floor. $495,000. Huh? You can buy a house in Florida with these garbage bags. Make sure next time when you have garbage bags, don't dump them in a dumpster. Keep them. One day they're worth billions. But this is just to show you how the world is. We are not talking about stupidity like this. We are a little bit more advanced. So we know there is a creator for sure. He created everything for me for sure. Does it make sense that he never told me why he put me over here? That I will not know why I'm living for? You said maybe he wanted us to find out on our own. Maybe that's the purpose of life, to investigate why we were created. There is a possibility. Someone made me, put me in this world, made a world for me. I'm able to eat and to drink and to think and to do things and to talk. Now I have tools to use to investigate why he created me. Make sense or no? Possible. Now we're talking some logic here. Let's try to analyze. We use our head. Maybe the purpose of life was to eat well. In that case, 90% of the people barely have what to eat. Go to China, they eat 1 spoon of rice all day. More than 1 billion Chinese. What do you think? They have steaks here and sushi? eat rice. Arabs in the desert of the Middle East, what do you think they eat? They live in tents. They live over there. It's not so easy for them. Many of them don't know how to read and write. Their food's not always available. So there are so many poor people out there. How many homeless people look in the garbage for what to eat? So if the purpose was to eat well, there are millions of people or billions of people in the world who don't even have normal food to eat. So it cannot be the purpose. For one person there is what to eat, and the other person there's nothing to eat. And plus, you know how many sick people cannot eat? They eat with zonda and some tubes and all that. So that cannot be the purpose of life. So maybe the purpose of life was to be smart. But the majority of the people in the world are far away from wisdom. Far away. That's not it. So maybe the purpose is to stay healthy. Almost every person in the world have at least one sickness. And sometimes 10. Doesn't have to be cancer, it can be a minor sickness. So that's not the purpose. Maybe the purpose was to get married. Male and female. But there are millions of people who never got married. So that's not the purpose. Maybe the purpose is to have children. For that you could have been a monkey. Why do you need to be a human being for that? Monkey also have children. Maybe the purpose was to enjoy the physical life. To swim, to eat well, to jump, to climb on the trees, to go in nature. For that you would be a monkey, or a lion, or an eagle. To fly in the world and see beautiful views and eat and enjoy and drink as much as you want. Interesting. Maybe the purpose was to raise children. So why it's so difficult? Why you have to put almost $1 million on a child here in America until he becomes 18, from the time he was born? Much easier to be a monkey. 2 minutes after he was with his female, he has a monkey katan, junior, and 5 minutes later he's already independent. Don't have to send him to school, no vaccine, doctor's appointments, surgeries, I don't know, one day to get him married, send him to college, and in the end he becomes a drug addict. They don't have this. So Baruch Hashem, would be better to be a monkey. Or a dog. Do you know there's one designer that died here, Lagerfeld?
Yes.
He had a cat. He inherited 150 million to the cat. I wouldn't mind being this cat. All day getting massages, eating well, enjoying nature. You know how much you can do for the cat with 150 million? The cat can do a lot of charity. The cat can decide what yeshiva to build, what synagogue to build. See, they put the cat in a table and the cat will make decisions. So, to be an animal, it's a lot easier than to be a human being. You don't have to go to school for so many years and to go to work and to be in traffic all day and to pay so much taxes. You just come to the garbage, rip the bags, and you have 10 different menus. Bukharian, Persian, Chinese, gefilte fish. No, today I'm in a mood for steak. Tomorrow, fish. The animals don't suffer that they eat from the garbage. They don't have the intelligence to understand. They eat garbage leftover. They enjoy, see how they lick the bones, how they move their tail. They're in heaven. If a male dog find a date in less than 30 seconds. He goes on a field. She goes like this. He was like this. 2 minutes later, they're already husband and wife. Or the monkey, the gorilla goes like this. She comes like this, and right away they're already mamash like this. Doesn't have to buy her a drink and an engagement ring, and she wants 3 carat minimum, and she wants a house in Great Neck or in Beverly. He doesn't have this. It's a great life they have. A call so simple and so easy. So what's the purpose? We still don't know. No, I can go until tomorrow like this. You got the point, right? So the answer to all these questions and the rest of the nonsense I spoke until now Obviously, you don't think I believe a word of what I say now, right? I just want to show you how in less than 5 minutes you can take a person, put him on a spot, and show all his fakeness. And prove without any doubt, not beyond reasonable doubt, without any doubt, that A, he knows there is a God, he knows he created the world, he knows that there has to be a purpose, but he's scared to find out. Don't tell me, I don't want to know. Why? Then I'm going to have to become religious. Why is he afraid to be religious? Because he's convinced that he's going to give up from his freedom. He's going to have to give up from his freedom. He won't be able to eat whatever he likes. Some things are kosher, some are not. He won't be able to marry any girl he likes. Some of them are not Jewish. It's against the law of the Torah. He's not going to be able to steal from his customers in Manhattan in a store and trick them because it's against the Torah. 2 weeks out of the month, his wife won't be available for him because, she had to go to the mikveh and it's still a few more days. He doesn't want to lose those days. And there are many, many reasons why secular people rather stay secular. But again, one of them could be evilness. But most of them are not evil, they're just ignorant. How do I know? Over the years I showed them the truth of the Torah, and a huge amount of them became Shomer Mitzvot. So that means if they would find out 10 years earlier, they would be religious 10 years earlier. How many people watched my film about Shabbat and immediately became Shomer Shabbat? Tens of thousands of people, immediately. How do you take a secular person who keeps saying, I'm an atheist, and in less than an hour, you make him keep the next Shabbat? It sounds like it's against all odds. The answer is, you give him 30 to 40 proofs. A, that there is a God. B, that he wrote the Torah. And a human being can never write a word in the Torah. Because the Torah, besides all the prophecies, and besides all the divine wisdom, and besides the knowledge about the entire creation and all the galaxies and the stars and things that a human being for sure could never even dream about 3,300 years ago, even with the technology we have today, we still don't know 1/1000% of the creation. So when we find in the Torah that the Torah knew things that only now we discover with all kinds of satellite and mega computers, how did the Torah know these things? How did the Torah know there are germs? They are microscopic, there's no way to see them. And there was no microscope until 200 years ago or something like that. So how did they know? How the Gemara say that if you drink from someone's mouth, you can die? You have to know that there is something that will kill you in this leftover water. Not only that, the Gemara say, he can stay alive and you die. So the Gemara knew there are germs, they can cause diseases, they can affect someone else, but they won't affect the person that has it. He can stay alive, you got it from his mouth, and you can be dead after a week. So what do we see, Rabotai? So there are thousands of things. If you watch my lectures about the science, Torah and Science, and the purpose of life, and life after death, all these movies that I made over the years, you will know 1000% that the Torah can never be written by a human being. Not even one word. Not even one word in the Torah was added by any human being. Do you know why? Because the Torah has a lot of deep mathematical skip hidden in the text. If you take one letter out of the Torah, it messes up all the math of the Torah. It's a chain reaction. All the skips, all the names, all the information that is hidden in the text, everything will be messed up. I'll give you an example. In the Torah, you have the name Yitzchak Rabin, the former Prime Minister of Israel. Yitzchak is 4 letters, Rabin is 4 letters. So it's 8 letters combination. The computer search for this name in the Torah, search for Yud. Yitzchak starts with Yud. Once he finds a Yud, he wants to see if the tzaddik will be after 2 letters. If no, he goes back to the Yud, count 3. If no tzaddik after 3, count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now up. After, let's say he found it after 50 letters. Yud, 50 letter, tzaddik. From the tzaddik to the chet must be 50, otherwise it's not a code. It's not an equal skip. So now, if between the tzaddik and the chet is going to be 50, the computer will continue to the kuf, also in 50. If it's not going to be 50, it goes back to the yud and start 51, 52, 53, it can be 1,000. But it has to be equal skip between all the 8 letters. So the smaller the skip is, the better it is. Why? Because you can see everything in 1 page in the Torah. You don't have to go 10 pages. It's all in front of your eyes. So they found Yitzchak Rabin in 1 page in the Torah. Now they put the name of the person that killed him. What's his name? Yigal Amir. Yigal Amir. They put in a computer Yigal Amir. The computer searched for Yigal Amir in the entire Torah, and what did he find? Yigal Amir in equal mathematical skip in the same page. In the same page. Can something like this be random? Absolutely not. But it gets better. When you look at those 2 names, you find that they have a mutual resh. There's no 2 resh. Rabin, it's resh, start with resh. Amir, finish with resh. The resh of Yigal Amir, the resh of Amir, and the resh of Rabin is a mutual resh, meaning they cross each other. To show there will be connection between these 2 people. This was written 3,300 years ago. You understand that both of them did not exist yet. So when we got the Torah 3,300 years ago, there was already information about something that happened 20-something years ago. Right away, if you are intelligent enough, that's enough for you to understand that the Torah is not just another book. Only the one who controls and knows all the future of all the people in the world was able to write such a book. That's enough for me. I better pay attention to what he commanded me to do, especially when it comes with a huge reward for the good deeds and a huge punishment for the sins. That should encourage me even more. So if I tell you, come work for me for $10 an hour, leave me alone, go find someone else to take advantage of. Okay, 20. What, 20? Sounds like it's a big deal, 20. All right, I give you $100 an hour. Come. 100, you sure? How many hours a day? Half an hour. Half an hour. How many hours you want to work? Minimum 8. So you want to make minimum $800 a day? Oh, you pay me? Yes. I'm coming. What convinced him to come? The reward. There's no reward, he doesn't want to work. What would happen if I said to him, listen, you're going to come, I'm willing to give you 800. It's a lot of money for a day to make. But if you don't come, every day you don't come, I penalize you 800. We take out of your bank account $800. We have no choice. You want the job, that's the deal. When you wake up in the morning, the alarm goes off, rainy day, depressing, gray, cold, you're under a warm blanket. The last thing you want is to get out and go to work with the wind and all the rain. If it was only to make the 800, maybe you will give it up today. Okay, I have enough for now. I can manage. But the pain of knowing that not only you're losing what you can make, you're also going to lose from your own pocket, so you're actually losing 1,600, right? If you go, you will have an extra 1,600 tomorrow. If you don't go, you lost $1,600, a lot of money. Your heart does not let you surrender to your desire, so you overcome your laziness. What caused you to do the right thing? the punishment. Punishment is one of the greatest gifts that God gave us. Also, we people learned it from Him. Every constitution in the world has reward and punishment, because you cannot run life without it. You cannot have any country to function without law and order, without police, without courts. The more lenient the punishments are, the more crime you have, like in America. Today they published how many people died in America in 2021 from gunshots. Do you know how many? More than 47,000 people. The most common people that died from gunshots are black people in their 20s. Black people in their 20s. Gangs, you know, everywhere in America, shooting at each other, gangs. After Corona, there is more than 20% increase in death by gunshots. 20% increase. There can be many, many reasons why the Corona made it a lot worse than what it was. It was always bad. From 1990, it started to become very bad. Why it started to become bad? Once the internet came out, and people have access free to movies all over the internet, and then came YouTube and all this, now TikTok, the more easy it is to watch all these horrible films and shooting and raping and murdering and choking and cursing and all kinds of accident, the more it makes the society sick, the more panic people have, the more problems in their subconscious and the psychology of their mind, the more depression they have, the more drugs they will consume, the more suicide every month, more suicide than before. All of that is results of the screens. When God made the people, they were not designed to watch tragedies every day, all day, from morning to night, non-stop on a screen. See, the brain is a computer. Computer, you can cheat. Computer doesn't know what's real and what's fake. So when your brain watch in a film, someone take a woman and throw her from the 10th floor into the street, and they show you how her head smashed to 1,000 pieces on the floor. They show these things. Your brain understands that he just saw it in reality, in life, and it makes him in panic mode. It affects thousands of things in your personality and your behaving. All of a sudden your hands are shaking, and then one day they sweat, and when you're under stress you freeze, and you're not happy, and you're not satisfied, and then you're so bored you begin to consume drugs. One thing leads to the other until you die, like almost every day someone dies here in Queens from drugs. This is all as results of the internet and sick society. The creator of the world made us with a list of things that we should do and with a list of things we should not do. Besides the spiritual reward and punishment, there's also physical reward and punishment. Reward and punishment is not just paying you money or charging you penalty. Reward and punishment is how your reality is going to be. If chas v'shalom someone did something to a woman, or a woman watched horrible things when she was young, now she has problem getting married. Do you know how many men that became religious after they used to live horrible lifestyle? Watch the worst dirt that you can imagine. One day they listened to a good speaker or a good proof that the Torah is divine, and they started to keep Shabbat, and they started to eat kosher, and now they're coming to lectures, they come to the synagogue. Now they want to get married. Till now, they were only committing sins. Nothing was serious. Now they want to get married. They realize one of the beautiful things in Judaism, get married and have children. So they can't. They go on 50 dates. They don't want any girl. Why? Because in their mind, all the dirt that they used to watch, they take all the most beautiful women in the world, the 1% of 1%, the most perfect, beautiful women, all they push them in their face for 20 years, All day they watch that this is the way their life should be. And now they go on a date and they give her a great girl. She looks nice. Everything is fine. Without all the horrible things that went into his brain, he would grab her and dance from happiness. But they come to me and say, I'm sorry, I can't get married. Why? I don't like how she looks. What's not nice about her? I don't like her. She has something on her nose. The way the hair is. You know, she's like 10 pounds overweight. She's too short, she's too tall. Everybody with this nonsense. She's not my type. Or there's something in America, she's not my type. Who says she has to be your type? Everything you and her has to be on the same page? Everything you like, she has to like? The idea is, Rabotai, it messed up the head. If you're not convinced, I'll prove to you from the Hasidic kids. Hasidic kids don't have smartphone, they don't have screens, they go from a very young age to cheder, learn Torah and stay pure. The bus comes, which is a Hasidic driver, they make sure not a goy. Hasidic driver take them in, speaks to them in Yiddish, some of them don't even speak English. For them not to be able to communicate with this dirty world. So they learn, they get to age 18, 19, they go on a date, 1 or 2 or 3 dates, they get married, and they happily married. Why? He doesn't know he has no idea in his life. The first girl that comes, unless she's extremely looking bad or anything like this, but she's average, decent, he's so happy, wow, I found a girl. And he's very attracted to her, because he doesn't have who to compare her to. I'll give you an example. When I came to America, it was 1989. The first day in America, I worked for $4 an hour. It was in Little Neck, Queens. $4 an hour. After a few days, I found a job for $5 an hour. It was such a happiness. $5 an hour. Free bagels, coffee, croissant. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. What would I have in Israel in those days, 1989? You cannot even find a job as a waiter. It's a horrible economy back then. So, after a year, I found for $7. I'm making $430 a week cash, and eat and gaining weight. I came here 167. After 1 year, I was already 20 pounds extra from all the bagel and butter and the smell in the bagel store. So, I'm having the life. So I bought myself a car. 21 years old in Israel, you can dream about a car. Which car? Buick. Buick, the Prime Minister of Israel didn't have such a car. It cost me $700. Buick. I sent pictures to my friend in Israel that I'm driving this Buick. Mine, 1 year you became Donald Trump. So every time I say, wow, if I would make 1,000 one day, wow, I'll be so happy. No, and one day you made. And then you say, wow, if I make 2,000 a week, wow. So when you get to it, after a day or two, it's not even exciting anymore. The idea, Rabotai, it's all in the end an illusion. You always gonna have who to compare yourself to. When I had that Buick, I got excited for a few days. Then I seen Great Neck, all these fancy Mercedes coming, Ferrari, the heck with this Buick. Same thing a woman. Her future husband just bought her a ring. How big you want your ring? Make sure it's minimum 2 carat. Shamata Itzi, don't embarrass me in front of my friends. We all went to the same class. The smallest was 2 carat. Don't make me the biggest loser. Don't worry, 2 carat it is. Got her 2.01. 5 minutes later, her best friend showed up with 3.5 carat. What happened to the nice, beautiful 2 carat diamond? She doesn't want to look at it. Why are you so depressed for 3 days? No, I'm not in the mood. Don't ask questions. How many questions you ask? She is depressed. Baruch Hashem, she didn't kill herself before the chuppah. Or he got her a nice apartment in Queens, 2 bedrooms. The parents help, they already have furniture, they even have a tiny car to go to work. I'm on the top of the world, she's only 20 years old. That's a great way to start life. After wedding, you have basically everything you need. Then she finds out that her cousin found that millionaire, and already they have a $5 million home, and she got that Mercedes. What's the name of that Mercedes? Safari one. The
G-Wagon.
Huh? G-Wagon?
G-Wagon.
He got her a G-Wagon. She's 20 years old. She already drives the $300,000 car. She can look at her little Fiat. She's depressed. Why are you not taking the car? I'd rather take Uber. Why? How will I show with such a car to work? So the idea, Rabotai, people that start to compare what they have with others that have something better, supposedly, obviously they'll never have one happy day in their life. Never. Because there's always going to be someone that has something better than you. Always, man. You're not going to be in everything the best. There's going to be smarter people and taller and better looking and more money and whatever the case is. The Torah, when a person learns Torah, he knows I have nothing to do with other people's life. The creator of the world designed my life according to the test that I'm supposed to pass. Therefore, my reward is also different than him. I give you an example. There are two people who go to apply for a job. One guy wants to be a diamond dealer. The other one wants to pave roads in 100 degrees. You know, with the tractor, they come, they make the roads, it's so hot. So they got the job. Now the guy from that working on the road is jealous with the diamond dealer. He's jealous with him. Why? It's not fair. I work so hard and I make so little. The other guy may be jealous with him. All day I'm in the office, I don't see anything. This guy enjoy. Every day is in a different place. Sometimes it's nice weather, beer and donut. He belongs to the union. Every week a strike. Every other week they grind the road and remake it, even though they just did it 2 weeks ago, to keep themselves busy. Everyone jealous with the other, but you'll never be happy. Going back to what I started. So it takes maximum 20 minutes to prove. The proof is right here, either in this book, that was my first book, or the second one. First one is Preparation for Eternal Life. There's a lot of proofs here. This book, divineinformation.com. Those two books, once a person read them, that's the end of the argument. All you need that he will have 5% of honesty. We're not looking for the most honest person in the world. 5% honesty, right? Most people have 5% honesty. Even the crooks, once in a blue moon, they say something that accidentally became truth. No? Nobody believes them, but they say the truth every once in a while. So Rabotai, 5% honesty. You read this book, you know for sure there is a creator. You know for sure that he created everything in this world. You know for sure that the Torah is from him, every word over there. You know for sure that all other religions that came after are all fake, have zero connection to him, and they all contradict his original book, the Torah, all of them. So you know not to waste another minute on all these religions and cults, such as Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, etc. You know for sure that life is a test, and you are being watched and recorded every minute, and you're going to be judged for what you did, good or bad, and everything will be according to the rules of the book, reward and punishment. You know for sure that life continues in the day of death. There's no such thing death. The soul will remain always alive, always. And you know for sure, after a while that you're going to learn this book, you know for sure what's ethical and what's not ethical. I'll give you one example. Before you read the book, before you care about religion, you were avoiding it. You heard that they want to pass a law in America to marry men with men and women with women. You didn't care. I'm not for it, I'm not against it. Let everybody live according to what they like. What is it my business? That's what most secular people think. Some are very much for it, all they talk about it. Some are against it, secular people, but the majority, I can care less what they want to do. I want to marry you, whatever they do. What is my business? I do what I like, let them do what they like. Right or wrong? That's what most people think. But once you come to an understanding, 1000%, that there is a God, and he wrote in his book, there's nothing he hates more than this abomination. That men and men live together, and women and all these things. And he gave to it the worst punishment you can think, death by stoning and eternal cut for the soul in the afterlife for billions of years of suffering. There's no words to describe how much these people are going to suffer in the day of death. What's waiting for them? Once you know, not believe. Believing means not knowing. I still have a doubt. You believe that it's true? Yeah, I believe. But you're not sure. That's not good enough. I'm talking knowledge. You know this book can never be written by a human being? Absolutely. The one who wrote the Torah knew all the future? Absolutely. He controlled all the world? Absolutely. All the galaxies, all the stars, everything was already information, all the oceans, the rivers, all the 2 million species that we know. He knew every one of them inside and outside. He knew what's going to happen in the future when they mix together, what can come out, what can never come out. And he wrote to us all these things in his book. So the more you learn, the more you know for sure that's it. There's no argument about it. There is a God and the Torah is true. So now, all you have to know now is what he likes and what he hates. What is going to benefit you for and what is going to punish you for. For instance, let's say until now you didn't care to steal. Big deal, he's a millionaire, my boss. So what if I take $5 a day to use to buy myself coffee across the street from the register without permission? He make $10,000 a day. He care about my $5 that I steal? Maybe he doesn't. But you are going to be punished for being a thief. The Torah in the 10 Commandments says you should not steal. Even though in the 10 Commandments you should not steal is talking about kidnapping people, what gives a death penalty. There are another place in the Torah that says lo tignovu, meaning don't steal money or valuable belongings. So Rabotai, once you begin to learn the Torah, you find what he likes and what he hates. What will bring you good points and what will bring you a destruction, or to your children, or to your family, or to your health, and to your afterlife. Now, who wants to be that stupid to read that what he's about to eat has poison that will kill him in 5 years from now? Guarantee. It takes 5 years to die. Someone will tell me now, I know you're very thirsty right now. Here you are. See this water? I'm very thirsty. I didn't drink all day. I would like now to drink and relax my throat a little bit. I'm so excited to drink this glass of water. I make a bracha and one of you jump. Don't! Ma? I saw someone putting poison in it. 2 people already died today in the neighborhood. And I'm dying to drink. You know how thirsty I am? I say, well, what exactly is this poison? A few hours after you drink, you die. I say, you know what? Don't teach me ethics. Please, mind your own business. I'm thirsty right now. What do I care what's going to happen 4 hours from now? We'll deal with that when we get to the bridge. We'll cross the bridge. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. I thought you're going to scream no. So the idea is that someone will do something like this. You understand that it's not normal? Okay. Now if someone opened the Torah and see what God said about someone who doesn't keep the Sabbath, I don't want to depress you, but go and read it. It appears in the Torah 12 times. 12 times. Not once, not twice, not 5 times. 12 times. In general, I will tell you that when a person finishes life, he had a ticket a share to the world to come, which is eternal spiritual world, and he just lost it. As it's written in the Torah, Mot Yumat will be put to death earlier in this world and will die for the next world, which is a lot worse. And I will cut his soul from the afterlife. ונכרתה הנפש ההיא מהמאה. It's very depressing for someone who likes to do things on Shabbat, to drive the car to the beach, or to go to work, or to open his business. Let's say he has a business, makes good money on Shabbat. He opened in a restaurant, Manhattan. He's a Jew, he just found out. Or let's say something even more painful. He is in love with a woman, her name is Christina, and he just found out by reading in the Torah that there is a serious violation for Jews to marry non-Jews, even if they're wonderful people. Nothing to do with who is good and who is bad. Nothing to do with racism, superb race, we better, they are not. Nothing to do with that. I just want to keep my children as one family. I don't want to extend the family to all the rest of the people in the world into the royal family. So make sure you stay only with the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the rule in the Torah. He just found out that the woman he loves so much and he's about to have kids with her is not allowed to touch her finger. Needless to say, to marry her. That's a very, very heartbreaking thing. Now he has a fight between his brain and his heart. Usually when you fight between the brain and the heart, who usually wins?
The heart.
The heart. Do you know why? Because the heart is feelings. The brain is knowledge. Knowledge doesn't make the same impact like feelings. For instance, if a person said he's not in a mood to do things that is right. His wife say, Moshe, you have to go to get your shot from the doctor today. Every week he has to get a shot. Otherwise he can die, God forbid. But he's so depressed because he lost a lot of money today in the stock market. He said, I'm not going. But it's the truth to go. We don't want to risk your life. The heck with this. I'm not going. What do you see? Emotions overcome logic. In many, many ways, it's the same thing. I give you an example. Sometimes couples come to me to cry about their marriage. So the woman said to the husband, this is how it goes. Ah, yeah? And you never hurt me the same way? You forgot in your wedding of the cousin how you embarrassed me there? I was standing over there and you and your stupid friends was making jokes and I'm standing like a fool over there for 20 minutes. He said, what? When did it happen? In your cousin's Moshe's wedding. That was 25 years ago. I didn't have to laugh or to cry. He said, Rabbi, she's talking about something I did when I was 22 years old. I'm almost 50 now. I said to him, you see, if you know the way the Torah is, the Torah said that once you hurt a woman, she will never forget it. A woman comes to her husband, she says, Moshe, bli ayin hara, you're becoming round. You're really chubby. He doesn't like it. He wanted to think that he's nice looking. And you know, with the years, but exactly 2 minutes later, he doesn't even remember it happened. If you ask him tomorrow, remember how your wife insulted you yesterday? Ma? My wife is a good woman, she doesn't insult, she's very polite. Ma, you don't remember? No. When you tell them, this, don't exaggerate. If he will say to his wife, Shifra, you're becoming round, you're becoming a Tunisian meatball. Ma? You say I'm fat? Don't come near me. That's it, I had it with you. No, it was just a joke. Go joke with your mother, leave me alone. How long is going to pay for this comment? Until the last breath of his life. There's no way to get it out of her system. By now, after she already became anorexic, and 500 times a day she goes on a scale, and sees that she's the skinniest woman in town, she still suffers from that comment from 5 years ago. Why is it? This is the way Hashem made the psychology of the women. Do you understand, Rabotai, what I'm talking about? Once you begin to learn Torah, you know the answers to every question you can ever have in your life. There's not one question in life that the Torah doesn't have the answer. Between the written and the oral Torah. One more thing, the Torah also teaches you the right ideology. I'll give you an example. If you are a chef and they tell you prepare, the king of Morocco is coming tomorrow to eat by our hotel in the presidential suite. How do you know what to cook for the king of Morocco? You don't know his personal taste in food. Maybe he's vegetarian, maybe he loves fish, maybe he hates fish. There could be millions of options. What do? You go and learn about him. You check what he likes to eat. You check what he likes to eat. You check what he hates to eat, if he's allergic to something. You check, you learn, you prepare for the moment that he will arrive. Shh. Why? Why you have to prepare? Why you have to prepare? Because you want to get a very nice tip. When he leaves, he can give you now $10,000 tip. Or he can tell you, have a nice day, sir, with a dirty look, and you know he didn't like what you made. Or sometimes you don't care about the money. The chef's usually a good war from someone celebrity, important, worth it for them more than money. Oh, that president told me that my food is great. So when you want to do something right, you have to learn how to do it. If you want to please God, not the king of Morocco, the king of all kings, how will you please him without learning what he loves and what he hates? There's no way to do it. If you do not know what he loves and what he hates, for instance, before you read the Torah, you compliment the gays all the time when they were speaking. After you read the Torah, you see how much God hates their behaving and what they do, and how many tragedies come to the world from the way they live when they rebel against the laws of nature and they want to twist the truth of the world to follow all their mental issues. So they want to twist the whole world to match what we call in Hebrew stia. You know what stia means? You have a way, a path, and they go off the path. Soteh me'apat. There's laws of nature. I have to go straight right now, to go from here to there, but I decide to go crooked. Therefore, that's called soteh. In Israel, a lot of people don't know the meaning of the word, so they get offended. למה אתה קורא להם סוטים? Why you call them sotim? What is a soteh? Soteh means someone that went off the path. That's what it means. It's not an insult. It's describing a human being that is created in materialistic way, that now rebel and contradict the laws of nature. The will of the creator of the world, that there will be male and female, they are perfect match and they can continue the human race. By people and by animals. There's no question about it. That the creator of the world is interested that this world will continue to have new people. If you learn Kabala, you know why. Because there's reincarnation. That means another test. You died, before you go to hell, he gives you one more chance to come back to the life. Meaning you're born as a baby, the same soul. Same soul that was 7 years old, his name was Avraham. He died, he has a trial. God said to him, I'm not sending you yet to hell. I'm going to make you born in Queens to this nice Bukharian family, nice warm family, nice parents, good food, great gujguje. All you're going to have. Nice synagogues in the area, few good yeshivot in the area. You have all the tools you need. Now you have no excuses. In your past life, you were born in Las Vegas. Over there it's hard to be tzaddik. But now I put you in a nice community. They made you bar mitzvah, you saw the Torah from a very young age, you come with your father to the synagogue, you hear the rabbi give nice beautiful words of Torah, What excuses you have? That's your second life, or the third, or the fifth. At one point, all the reincarnations will end. You're never going to get forever another chance and another chance and another. It's not going to work. At one point, once a person fails again and again and again, male or female, then God has to purify the soul by force. Dry clean. Very painful one, but it cleans all the spiritual stains that a person put on his soul from his sins. Which sins are the hardest to erase? Breaking Shabbat, homosexuality, relationship with animals, relationship with non-Jews, crime in a family, sister, brother, mother, all this Gilui Arayot. Those are the biggest crimes. How do you know which sins in the Torah are worse than others? The answer is, one of the ways to know is based on the punishment. Right? If someone stole $10, what's his punishment in the Torah? What's his punishment in Iran? They chop his hand off. And I have with no palm. They chop it over here. Poor guy, 7 years old, he stole bread, he was hungry, the kid. They call him, these crazy ayatollahs, come here, they chop his hand off. Same thing in Saudi Arabia. What does the Torah say if someone stole? He has to pay double. You stole $10, you give back the 10 you stole, and now we do the same thing you wanted to do to him, to you. Pay him 10. So you feel the pain of losing $10, just what you did to somebody else. What happens if you break Shabbat? After you got a warning, and you continue to do, even though they warn you about the severity of your sin, you continue to do it. They told you, come on, you're playing with fire, it's death penalty, don't do it. Leave me alone, I'll do whatever I want. Afal Piken, I'll do it. And you did it. They bring you to the Sanhedrin, to the court. The witnesses testified, they found you guilty. It's death by stoning, and it's the worst thing you can imagine. Even a murderer doesn't get such an execution. If you found guilty in murder, not one person, 1,000 people you murder. You're a hitman. 40 years you kill people every day with a silencer. It's like a Game Boy. You believe that you are in a, what do you call it, Xbox? You forgot that it's real life of families, of people. You got used to it. But you got caught. They bring you to Sanhedrin, people came, they saw you killing. Now they execute you. How they execute you? By sword. It's a lot easier than stoning. Stoning is horrible. I mean, if you see one time what it's stoning, you'll never in the history of your life dare to touch one thing on Shabbos. That is not permitted. Why? Because you know that's what's going to be my end. But not only one stoning for every violation. That can be 1 billion times in a life of 7 years. You get stoned, they put you back together in the next world, and again you get stoned. And again, for how many times you turn the fire on Shabbat? And how many times you press the gas on Shabbat? And how many times you saw on Shabbat? And how many times you wrote with a pen on Shabbat? And how many times you turned the fire on and you made yourself coffee? And you heat food and you turn the oven on? And all the things that the Torah said that you're not allowed to do on Shabbat, because Shabbat is a special spiritual day. Not knowing the punishments that are waiting for you does not change it by a bit. Not knowing there is poison in this water. It's clear, it looks nice, clean. Who would imagine that they put a few drops here and in an hour a person dies? Not knowing there is a poison in the water, it will still die. It's not fair, I didn't know. It's not fair, I didn't know. You didn't know. But it's reality. Poison kill. But I didn't go to yeshiva. Oh, now you have a good question. It's not fair. Your cousin went to yeshiva. You went to public school. In public school they don't teach to be Shomer Shabbat. Is this a good claim or no? What do you think? Let's say I'm the judge. Let's say I'm the prosecutor. One of you will be the defendant, and one of you will be the judge. I'm the prosecutor. I said to the judge, Your Honor, this person is a criminal. God made an eternal covenant with the Jewish nation, which is the Sabbath. He told us, I created the world in 6 days, in the 7th day I rested. You have to be like me. 6 days you do everything you have to do, and in the 7 days you rest like I did. You represent me in the world. Do not dare to rebel against me. That's your job. You are the Jewish person. The Goyim are not allowed to keep Shabbat. If a Goy keeps Shabbat, he risks his life. It's a crime for a non-Jew to keep Shabbat. Only the children of God got this covenant, no one else. ולא נתתו לגויי הארצות, ולא הנחלתו לעובדי אלילים, גם במנוחתו לא ישכנו ערלים, כי לעמך ישראל נתתו באהבה. It's all written. So now, I'm the prosecutor, I say, he knows that God gave us the Torah. He knows that it's a big sin to break the Sabbath. He doesn't care, he does it anyway. Immediately the defense attorney jump and say, excuse me, Your Honor, this prosecutor is wrong. My client never went to yeshiva. How should he know? He went to public school when they brainwash him all day to be gay and an atheist and to change his sex. He almost became a lady last night. We had to beg him not to become she. Someone like that knows about the crime of Shabbat? Good point or no? Yes?
I would say, like, if the punishment is punishing for moral guilt, then certainly moral guilt is, to some extent, affected by one's knowledge, like whether one's in an environment that's conducive to keeping Shabbos, in this example, and other such sociological and knowledge factors that could potentially mitigate moral guilt. But yes, there would be some moral guilt involved.
Very good. But the point is like this. Now the defense is trying to say that it's not his fault. You should let him go free, not execute him. Why? Because he went to public school, and over there they don't teach religion. Now you have to be the prosecutor. What would you respond to such a claim? You surrender or you have what to answer?
Books.
Oh. The prosecutor is much better than me in Shamayim. If I know it, he knows it as well, the Satan. He said, Your Honor, I'm very sorry. Your Honor, I'm very sorry. There are more than 1 million Jews who went to public school and grew up 100% like non-Jews, and they grew up 100% like non-Jews, and they became fully religious. They also went to public school. So what excuse they have? I'm asking. 1 million people grew up the same like this guy. They went to public school, they went to the beach every Shabbos, they went to public school, they did all of that. Can someone help her? Maybe she needs a... So, so the prosecutor would say, the prosecutor would answer, there are more than 1 million Baalei Tshuva in the world, in Israel, in America, in Europe, in Mexico, in Canada. They also went to public school. They went through the same brainwash. And they are fully religious today. What would you answer as the defense? Now you have a big problem. That means it was possible for a secular person who went to public school, who did not grow up in a religious environment, to become a Baal Tshuva. Why? Rashi says, if a person knows that there is a creator to the world, that's common sense, and there is such a thing, Torah, even though he never learned Torah, but he knows there is a claim that the Jews got the Torah from God. He knows there is such a thing. He doesn't come to learn, and he never even held it in his hand. But he knows there is a Torah. And he knows there is such a special day in Judaism called the Shabbat. Someone like that is fully guilty for his crimes. He can never say, I didn't know because I never learned Torah. My parents never sent me to yeshiva. 3 conditions. You know there is a creator? Yes. You know there are religious people who claim that God gave them the Torah and they live according to the book? Yes. You know there is a special day that they don't do anything, they don't work, they pray, they eat, they rest, they together with the family, and they have restriction. You know about all of that? Yes. Why you did not run to investigate? You see hundreds of thousands of people, or few millions of people in the world doing it. The smartest people in the history did it. And you think you're better than everyone? Why you did not go to investigate? For not coming to check such an important thing, you brought it on yourself. One comment I can add, it's obvious that someone who did go to yeshiva and learn Torah in a high level all his life, and someone who did not go to yeshiva, they're not getting the same punishment. It's true that the secular one had an obligation to come and check and find out and read books and watch films and listen to lectures. The fact he didn't do it found him guilty in all the counts. But when the judge, meaning God, come to decree about the amount of punishment he's going to get, he takes to consideration billions of factors. Billions. First, how smart he was. Not everyone is smart. Second, who were his parents? He grew up in a healthy home or in an abusive home. 3, how much money he had. The amount of, the level of wealth affect how you does things in your life. 4, what school he went to. 5, did he have synagogue and religious people in his area or no? There are many, many factors. After reviewing everything, Hashem decide what he deserves to get. It can be another reincarnation. Now we're going to give you a better environment. It can be, God forbid, going to hell, and it can be, chas v'shalom, a permanent cut for the afterlife. It's all depend on what you could have done and you did not do. One thing I can tell you, let's say there is a Jewish baby that was born in Ukraine. He doesn't even know he's Jewish. His parents 100% like non-Jews, eating pork all day. They didn't even circumcise him. He didn't have bar mitzvah. He doesn't know what feeling is. He never heard about Shabbat. He walked with the Ukrainian goyim, eating pork all day. On Shabbat he walked like this all his life. Someone like this that died, will he be punished for not breaking Shabbat? No. Will he be punished for not not circumcising himself? No. Will he be punished for not coming to learn Torah every day? No. Will he be punished for not putting tefillin? No. What's common to all the things that I mentioned? There is no way to know that you have to do it unless you read it in the Torah. Common sense does not require to put tefillin. How would you know? Common sense does not require to keep Shabbat. How do you know? Common sense does not require to circumcise yourself. I was created like this, I'll stay like this. That's common sense. Everything that you could have not known on your own, you are not guilty. Everything that you had to know because it's ethical and it's morality, you will be punished fully for that. If you are a thief, you will be punished for every time you stole, because everyone knows you're not allowed to steal. If you're a cheater, you'll be punished. If you're a violent monster, you'll be punished. If you don't have mercy on the poor, you will be punished. If you're disrespectful to your teachers and to your parents, you will be punished. You understand or no? There are many things in life that you have to know without religion. Go to any American, go in Texas. Ask him, is it fair to steal? Absolutely not. Do you have to be a loyal person? Of course. Is it okay to make the streets of Texas dirty, to throw all my junk on the floor? They'll tell you no. Is it okay to curse all day and be violent and intimidate people? Absolutely not. The Goyim made their own constitution. Some of their constitution came from the Torah, it's true. But they only took from the Torah what makes sense in their own mind. They did not make laws in the Constitution of the United States that it's against human logic. We, the Jews, have in the Constitution of the Torah that you're not allowed to create fire on Shabbat. The Goyim didn't take it to their Constitution. Who cares when I create a fire? I'll do it whenever I want. They took, you should not kill, you should not steal, honor your parents, help the poor, create a society of kindness. This the Goyim did adapt. So everything that is required by common sense, everyone will be judged for that. Jews, non-Jews, secular Jews. The religious Jews, they also know there are many, many laws that has nothing to do with human logic, like red cow, the lulav and etrog in Sukkot, or to sit in a sukkah in Sukkot, or to eat matzah in Pesach, or not to do certain things on Shabbat. It has nothing to do with human logic. So don't try to find logic in everything that you're allowed or not allowed to do. Sometimes you won't find any logic because it's divine logic. What do you know? You don't know 1% or 1% of the world. You want to understand the secrets of God. I would like to finish with one last thing. Sometimes I find Jews that don't keep mitzvot, don't keep Shabbat, don't put tefillin, don't eat kosher, but they learn Kabbalah. All of you laugh because you're smart. But I will give you an example. What does it look like? Me, Mr. Mizrachi, decide to go to medical school to be a brain surgeon. At least 10 years of learning, no? I want to operate on people's brain. So what do? First day in medical school, when they teach blood pressure, they start teaching you about the body, the organs, which organ, what is responsible for. I say, excuse me, don't waste my time. I heard about kidney, I heard about the heart, I heard about the vessels, I heard about all of that. Take me directly to the surgery room. Show me in the brain which vein it belongs to the arm, which one maintain the stomach. I need to know every dot over there. If I press here, what's going to happen? They say to me, excuse me, I don't understand. Do you know what Advil is? I heard about it. What's the difference between Advil and Tylenol? Do you know? Do you know that if you take by mistake Tylenol, you can die, but if you took Advil, nothing will happen to you? The difference between Advil and Tylenol, I don't know which one, depend on the disease. Like with COVID, they said don't take this, but take this. And other diseases, they said take this. This one is good, but this one, in this particular matter, will make more damage. If you don't know it, how many people can die because of you? If you don't know the level of sugar in the blood, if you don't know about allergies, how many people can die in a surgery room because of an allergy? They're allergic to the penicillin or I don't know what. So Rabotai, there are thousands of things to learn before you even enter the surgery room. You want to skip all of that and come directly to the day when today we find how to open the brain and begin to sew and drain the liquid and do this and do that. I said, you get out of here, you're not normal. Kabbalah is after you're 40 years old, you finish the entire Torah, meaning all the 5 books of Moses, all the prophets, all the kings, which is 24 books. 24 books of the Tanakh. Control, full control, with Rashi, with Ramban, with all the commentary. After that, you have full control of the entire Talmud, thousands of pages. Sometimes it can take all day to learn one page. It's very complicated. So you have to know the Talmud after you repeat it a few times for many, many years. You have to be in full control of all the halachot, all the Shulchan Aruch, Rambam, everything. Right there, if you are a genius, you have about 25 years of learning. If you're a genius, if your head is full of straw instead of a brain, it may take 500 years. But if you are a genius, it will take you 25 years to get to that level. Then you have to be married. You have to be stable. And then, even when you learn Kabbalah, you have to learn by very, very special holy people. Not Kabbalah Center and all these clowns and the crooks out there. You know, that don't keep even Shabbat. They come to teach Kabbalah. Imagine, I say, I don't believe there is a brain, but I want to be a brain surgeon. Put him in a mental institution immediately, right? That's Kabbalah Center. I don't believe in Shabbat. I don't believe in kosher food, but I want to teach Kabbalah. That's the kind of morons we're dealing with here. I'm going to these Kabbalah lessons. I want to tell you something. We'll finish here. Then I give you time for questions. You can have, by the way, before you leave, my CD, Torah and Science. It's a 4-hour seminar with many, many proofs. Watch it. If you don't have CD player, you have it on my app, you have it on my website, divineinformation.com. Just watch it. Watch it maybe even more than one time. You want to know every word there by heart. Believe me, it's going to change your entire life. It's mamash the guideline of life. Ideology, knowledge, what's the purpose, everything is there. Same thing you have in those books. You have it. Plus stories that happened throughout the years, which is breathtaking stories. So how many miracles happen against all odds. I put everything in a book to inspire the people to see the hand of Hashem. So, you know, I would like to just finish by telling you something somebody sent me a few days ago. I see a YouTube film. I see one speaker, and it's a Rabbi X interviewing Rabbi Y. You expect 2 rabbis to have a conversation, right? One of them has a white beard. I'm looking for the other rabbi. I clicked on the video. What do I see? Immediately I had to shut it off. Not allowed to look at it more. Once you saw this picture, you immediately have to shut it off. Almost totally naked woman, full of tattoos, artificial green contact lens that look like a lizard. So not modest, like those drug addict goyot from Woodstock, full of kishkushim on them. She, one of the biggest criminals on earth, calling herself a rabbi. I've seen everything. I've seen everything in my life. But someone like this, a woman that looks, excuse my language, like a top prostitute, call herself rabbi in the video? What is she, normal? Do you understand what's happening to people today in the world? The amount of mental issues that people have is beyond words. I encourage every one of you who still do not learn Torah daily and connect to Hashem non-stop, the more the better, to wake up now before it's going to be too late. You want to save your soul, because right now you have a ticket. The ticket's supposed to enter you to the next world, which is eternal, full of endless spiritual pleasure. But you will not go there if you will be a sinner. No one is perfect. We all commit sins. But there are ways to fix the sins. We repent, Yom Kippur, give a lot of charity, learn not to repeat those sins, ask for forgiveness, and stay away from fakers. Stay away from horrible people that call themselves rabbi. Stay away from the clowns that call themselves Kabalist. And do it right. Start from Aleph, and then Bet, and then Gimel. Don't go right away from Aleph to the top of the pyramid. If you want to build a building and start from the 10th floor without foundation, I don't have to tell you what's going to happen to that building. Any questions before we finish? Yes?
What's the Kabbalah that you have to learn the whole Shas and everything? This is good to start at 40. What's in it? The reason I asked this was I have a friend that was very, very strong. He's under 40, got a beard and everything, and he started learning Kabbalah, and he went completely the other way.
Exactly. Exactly. I tell you why. Because Kabbalah is very mystical. There's a lot of secrets. And if you're not a holy vessel, when you go into it, the angels are so angry at you that they damage you mentally. Many people that went into Kabbalah ahead of time either committed suicide or became crazy. They went to mental institution for the rest of their life. Or what you describe, went from being very religious into a complete criminal. Why? Because the angels are, the kitrug, the mekatreg, the prosecutor say, who is this clown who goes to learn Kabbalah? What is he, Moshe Rabbeinu? Is he Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? Is he the Ari HaKadosh? Is he Baba Sali? Who is he that he even touched such a thing? Look how many sins he commit every hour. How much Lashon Hara, how much non-kosher meat he eat, how he doesn't watch his eyes, doesn't even go to the mikveh, nothing, comes to learn Kabbalah, the holiest things of Hashem. Right away they rip him apart. That's why it's very dangerous. I've seen throughout the years that people that went to Kabbalah and became cuckoo, crazy. That's the problem. We have a big Kabbalist came one time to Monsey to our yeshiva 20 years ago, Rav Yaakov Hillel. He's one of the top Kabbalists in the world. I remember his speech. He said, what is this? We live in such a 20 years ago, today it's a lot worse. What is this? Every loser who doesn't know how to learn one page of Gemara goes to learn Kabbalah. It takes 6 years to learn how to learn Gemara, meaning to be independent in everything. 6 years just to learn how to learn. And then you have to another many years until you finish everything. So you saw that you're such a loser and your brain is very limited. So now you went and grew a beard and you pretend you're wearing white clothes and you pretend you're some kind of a holy man. You're hollow inside. There's no foundation. A lot of people do it because this is a way to take money from naive people. There's a lot of scams in it. Do not ever fall into that scam. When they tell you there's a big Kabbalist coming, if you want to come, we collect money for him. Stay away from this kind of people. If they're going to give you an amulet, I'm going to make you an amulet, pay me $2,000, be careful. Most likely this amulet will make you more damage in your life than help you. Plus you pay money for it. There was one crook like that One crook like that was fooling the community over here for years, I warned him. I told him, your end's going to be very bad if you're not going to stop. I warned him. He didn't stop, and he died young. 2-3 years ago, Hashem took him to hell, express, to this crook. Why? Because you know how many miserable people here he fooled? You know how many people came from here and cried to me that he ruins their life, this criminal? How many lies, how many tricks, how much money he got out of them. There's an interesting part I want to tell you. Shut the camera, Benji. I'll tell you a story off the record. Shut the camera.